Okay, Hugh Screwer, back with you. I know it's been a bit of a long time in between classes, but I am back doing the Hugh Screwer's ADSOM training classes here at the School of Underhand Conniving Knacks and Backstabbery, commonly known, of course, as SUCK. I'm back. I know there's been a lot of talk, a lot of conjecture, a lot of rumours. There's been a lot of people saying that Hugh Screwer won't be back. There's been conspiracy theories. There's been a lot of detractors, critics, and so forth. But I am back doing the training here at SUCK, and it just I think proves that no one screws with you, and your organisation needs you, which is me. In addition to the training I do here at SUCK, I do of course run the Elite Training Academy for ADSOMs, which is known as Top Screw. I share the training duties at Top Screw with my esteemed colleague, Ms. Serendipity Ubiquity. So that's all. Get that all out of the way. Look, welcome back to all the people doing the training online. The people who are just watching at home, for generic, collegial reasons, or entertaining reasons. But also special welcome back to my regular classroom students. None of them have missed a lesson, and thank them for their patience in getting back into the classroom, so to speak. We'll just go around the room, right up the back there, old 55, of course. He's still looking for that echo. Up in the far corner, right up the back on my left, of course, is the indomitable Mr. Maverick. Coming down to the front, right down the front on my left here, with the funny hat on, of course, is Spin Doctors, and keep wearing those funny hats, mate. I like them. And behind him, of course, is the very stylish William Shakespeare. Of course, in the middle here, I've got the very astute and analytical Father Brown, of course. And just over on my right, in the centre of the room, of course, is the very youthful-looking Tears for Fears. So good to have you all back, all of you back, fellas. I'd just like to let you in on a little trick I played on you before, because I did tell them, in addition we were using all had to do the hand sanitising and so forth before you come in the room. I did ask you all to remove your shoes. As I said, that's an extra infection control measure. I have to come clean with you all now and say that wasn't in fact an infection control measure. It was in fact the fact that my shoes are worn out and I need a new pair of shoes. So the ones that you left there I snuck around before, and I picked the ones that sort of fitted me the best and the most comfortable. And these are quite good. I don't know which one of you guys' shoes they were, but they fit me very well. Although yours, William Shakespeare. Well, that's good. You're a very stylish sort of dresser, and they are quite stylish. These boots, quite like them. You want me to have them, do you, William Shakespeare? Well, that's very generous of you, but I wasn't asking you for permission. I wasn't asking you for permission, which comes to our first very important principle of the day. It's all about, with me getting this new pair of shoes and William Shakespeare having to go off to a shoe shop and get his own. It's just about I've had my fun, and that's all that matters. And that's an important principle which I'll now sort of start drumming into. It's all about you having, as an ADSOM, you're having your fun, and that's all that matters. And of course, that saying, of course, was made particularly famous in the brilliant UK television comedy series Father Ted. Was written by Graham Lynham and Arthur Matthews, and I've got some notes here. It of course starred Dermot Morgan as Father Ted, now I do get his name a little wrong, but I'll just get it for you. Ardell O'Hanlon as Father Dougal. I should say with Dermot Morgan, I should say it's the late and great Dermot Morgan, who's passed away some time ago. Ardell O'Hanlon, who played Father Dougal, of course, he's still going around on TV. You can see him on Australian TV currently in Death in Paradise. So Arden's still going around. Pauline McGlynn, who played Mrs. Doyle, the housekeeper. Yeah, Pauline's Irish actor and comedian. She's still going around. Dermot and Ardell, of course, were Irish actors, comedians. Of course, the late Frank Kelly, who played Father Jack. And of course, the episode which I'm going to get you guys to watch for your homework is actually called New Father Jack City. And in that, the character Father Finton Stack replaces temporarily Father Jack Hackett, who was played by the late Frank Kelly. And Father Finton Stack was played absolutely brilliantly by the late Irish comedian and actor Brendan Grace. He did a brilliant job, and he made that. He was a particularly obnoxious person, which as ADSOMs, I hope you all guys are becoming. And he comes up with the statement to Father Ted. He says, "I've had my fun, and that's all that matters." And so that ties in very well with the training that we're doing here at SUC with the attitude. So make sure that you watch that one. Pick it up on the internet and watch that one, and I'll have a few questions on the next new lesson. Look, very important, very, very important, is that I finally released and published my own book, which of course is called, it's by Hugh Screwer, of course, which is me. And I'll just try and get it up to the camera. It's Hugh Screwer, and of course it's called Way of the ADSOM, and of course has a subtitle, of course, 30 Years of Signature Walking. So, and there's a picture of me, of course, just teaching you guys in the class here, and there's those head and ears. They belong to the late little Kirsty dog, who's no longer with us, and of course who we have this memorial to, this constant memorial to honour little Kirsty dog, who no longer attends the classes. But there it is. The back cover is quite similar. It's just got a picture of me doing some signature walking, of course, as you can see. So there it is. I'm quite proud of it. It's my first book, but it's very definitive. And the important thing, of course, on the side too, there's just a picture of me doing a representation or depiction of kissing up kind of thing. So there it is, Hugh Screwer, Way of the ADSOM, 30 Years of Signature Walk, and why it's important for you guys, even though I'm sure you're ready to race out and buy it anyway. It's going to be compulsory for you guys to buy it forthwith, and because you must read the 4 chapters, because those 4 chapters are going to count. There'll be an assessment on those 4 chapters for your pass to get out of here. And for some of you, like Mr. Maverick, who have told me several times that he has ambitions of going on to top screw. So I had to publish it myself, of course. I did approach the board of directors here at SUC to see if they would include some funds to assist me in publishing, because I think it's be a useful educational tool for the training here at SUC, and we'll also be using it as a reference up at Top Screw. So there it is, Hugh Screwer, Way of the ADSOM. You've heard it first here. Go out and buy it. Use your Hugh Screwer training class identity cards to get a discount. You'll find it in all good bookstores. And yes, Mr. Maverick. No, well, that's a good point. That's a good point, and giving him his due. So that's showing a good sense of him too. Yeah, you'll find in all good bookstores, but like Mr. Maverick has pointed out very well, you won't find it in bad bookstores. Only in good bookstores. And just before he's got his hand up again. And look, I think I know what he's thinking. You won't find it in very bad bookstores either, or bad bookstores, or very, very bad bookstores, or very, very, and so on. That's what you're getting at, Maths. Yep, I thought he was. He's quick off the mark today, but good on him. Good to have him back. Yeah, so that's the book. You've got to get it. Yeah, if you ask where your tuition fees go, it's gone into publishing this book. There's a bit of work goes into it, but in the end, I had my fun with it, and that's all that matters. So it fits in, fits in with the training. Like we talked, first lesson we talked about, embracing the traits of Sgt Barnes, and forgetting the traits of Sgt Elias. And I mean, if you looked at that movie, Sgt Barnes, he just went around, burning villages, killing people indiscriminately, killing his own platoon sergeant, getting around drinking neat bourbon, playing cards. He was having his fun. He didn't care about the platoon or anything. It was Barnes being Barnes. It was like I'm having my fun, and that's all that matters. So it's a very important principle to follow as being our ADSOMs. And I mean, we look at Sgt Elias, like as I said, he cared about the, especially the new recruits into the platoon, the green ones. He's trying to nurture them. He did kill people and enemy combatants, but he was, he particularly went out of his way to try and ensure that they weren't innocents, what they call innocent civilians, killed in the bath. Whereas Barnes, couldn't give a stuff. It was just all, I've had my fun, and that's all that matters. Yes, Mr. Maryk. Yes. When Chris Taylor, Charlie Sheen, did come back to the mess tent, yes, Sgt Elias was relaxing in a hammock. I think he was smoking some weed. Might have been a bit of a hint of an opium pipe there, and he looked very relaxed. And he was listening to Tears Fizz. It was very good. Tears. Yeah, it was Smokey Robinson, Tracks of My Tears. Yeah, so good point, Mr. Elias. Look, Sgt Elias, he was having fun at that particular time in the mess tent when Charlie Sheen's character, Chris Taylor, did come back. But aside from smoking weed, maybe a bit of opium, lying back and relaxing in a hammock and eating a banana and listening to Smokey Robinson's Tracks of My Tears, he didn't have any fun other than that, really. So, so we've got all these principles, you just keep, it should be all coming into clear focus for you guys, about, embracing Barnes, forgetting Elias, using your signature walks, your harassment and bullying techniques, sending people to commentary, your variety of, harassment and bullying techniques, which I've trained you in, should all be coming into focus. And you should be, by now, you should be people in your own life, like your friends, your close friends and your friends and your family. I mean, they should be coming up to you now and saying, they should have noticed that, geez, since you've been doing that ADSOM training at Hugh Screwer's training classes at Suck, you've really turned into a prize prick, haven't you? They'll say, you're a real tool now. Remember I told you at the beginning, I'm going to tool you up to be real tools. It should be saying, you've changed, coming up tests, you've changed Tears for Fears, you're a real total dickhead now. You used to be okay. And is that what you guys are finding? Yes, Tears for Fears, yes, William Shakespeare, yeah, you too, yeah, Spin Doctors, Father Brown. Oh, 55, yeah, I thought you'd come with the echo. Very good. So, and that pleases me. That means that the training here at Suck is working, and that you guys are applying yourself well to the tasks at hand. Mr. Maverick, yeah, so Mr. Maverick would have to be different, of course, yes, okay. So Mr. Maverick, your friends and family, everybody you know, they've said that there's no difference, no change in you whatsoever since you've been doing the training here at SUC. Well, okay, Mr. Maverick, okay, you choose to be different. Now, I just like to, into that, that sort of sun-fried brain, out playing beach volleyball, out in the sun, there, into that sun-baked brain. Would you just entertain, just for a moment, would you just entertain the fact that you might have been a prize prick to start with, and that's why they haven't noticed the difference. Yeah, he says now, yes, the pennies dropped for Mr. Maverick. Oh, in his case, you might say it's a quarter, or he's going to put that quarter, drop a quarter in the jukebox. The quarter's dropping in the jukebox of Mr. Maverick. Hello, hooray. Some people might say, oh, he's going over to the jukebox. What's he gonna play in that jukebox? Puts the quarter in, of course he's going to play. You've lost that loving feeling. The Long John Baldry version, not the Righteous Brothers version, of course. And then he's going to go off and try and serenade some. The training lady, I think, that was played by Kelly McGillis in Top Gun, wasn't it? Yeah, he's going to try and serenade her with that song. I tell you what, Mr. Maryk, if you're successful in getting a placement up at Top Screw, and remember at Top Screw that I share the training up there with my esteemed colleague Serendipity Ubiquity, so you'll be getting some training with Serendipity. If you try any of that cheesy Top Gun crap with Serendipity up at Top Screw, she'll flatten you, mate. Yeah, she'll flatten you. She's tough. There's elements of her that's actually even tougher than me. Like, you've got to realise she is the second most renowned trainer of ADSOMs in the country. Yes, Mr. Maverick. Okay, so Mr. Maverick is asking, well, who is, if Serendipity Ubiquity, if she's the second most renowned trainer of ADSOMs in the country, who is the most renowned? Well, I'm going to take it as a comment and not a question. And I take it as a satirical comment, Mr. Maverick, because you know very well who is the most renowned ADSOM trainer, not just in the country, but in the Western world. And I have to jump back into my Siegfried character from the great comedy Get Smart, written by Mel Brooks and other writers. I have to jump back into my Siegfried character and say, Mr. Maverick, this is Hugh Screwer's ADSOM training. We do not use satirical comments here. Yeah, and you guys have. There's been a lot of Hugh Screwer ADSOM training lessons, and I don't think there's been ever any satirical type material in Hugh Screwer's training, has there? Okay, so the book, very important, and the other thing is yes, Father Brown, you've already got the book. Hugh Screwer's Way of the ADSOM, you've got it. Well, brilliant, Father Brown. That shows the innovation and the motivation and dedication which I've come to expect from you. Very good. Oh, and you've got it. Oh, spin doctors, very good. Spin doctors, yeah. Some printers will adore you for that. Spin doctors. Just keep wearing those funny hats, mate. I just love that. So very good. You two has got the book. You've already been reading it, and you've read a bit too, Spin Doctors. Yeah, okay. So yes, Father Brown. Yeah. So you say, I do go on a bit. Yeah, I do go on a bit in the book about Gary Kisen's and his vendetta incursion into the very good boy cult. Yeah, I do, and we did go through that in one lesson. but how's time going? Time's getting away from us. But yeah, we'll go through it. Yeah, it was very important. Gary Kisen's incursion into the very good boy cult. It's worth going through. A bit of a revision. Just because remember way back in previous lesson I introduced the Kilson kick down kiss up pyramid, which is representative of an organisation which is humming along in that harmony with all the the kick downs and the kiss ups, all balancing out sort of thing. And as as you can see, the black arrows are the kiss ups, and they tend to get longer as you go up the pyramid. So that the shorter arrows, the black arrows down here, and they get larger in magnitude as you go up the pyramid. And of course, the red arrows represent the kick downs. Kick down, and as I say, they start up very small up the top, and then they get gradually big. As you can see, they're getting quite large, the kick downs, as they get down the bottom of the pyramid. So that was the Kilson kick down, kiss up pyramid. Remember that, and remember I did show you that's an organisation humming along, in harmony. But remember too, I did show you the Kilson disruption mode of the pyramid, and so you have this small. There's the stable kick down, kiss up pyramid. Then you had Gary Kilson come along, and he basically went. He basically went into the cover. He misrepresented his reasons for going in, getting. They took him into their trust, took him into the very good boy secretive, well, kind of secretive cult. It's not that secretive. I've written about it in the book, haven't I? But he went into the very good boys because of which you read in the book, because of something that they did to him, which he was very, 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 very angry about, and decided to get them all back. Get as many back as he could. So when Kilson would come along, and he'd get into organisations with, some of the very good boys in there, and he'd do stuff like, this was his disruption mode. Like he would, as I see here, I've got the red arrows. I've got the red arrows, which are the kick downs. He'd kick up, and then the black arrows, which of course black is for kiss ups. He'd kick down, and as I say, red and black out. He'd even kick out and kiss out sideways, So then you had this whirlpool of disruption, add some disbelief and shock, and of course then the Gary Kilson incursion was over, and of course then you go back to this stable, humming, kick down, kiss up pyramid. So yeah, this one you probably haven't seen before, and it is in the book, and this represents the Kilson very good boy vendetta incursion. And as you can see over here on the typical y-axis, of course, this is number of inductees into the very, very good boy cult, requiring medical treatment post hazing ceremonies per month. Remember, they have these hazing ceremonies in the very good boy cult where they use those Vlad Impaler adult toys, and they get the Basil and Jasmine and Basil glute rubbing oils out, and they rub each other's glutes, and they do all this stuff, and which I don't condone here at some kind of thing. It's not what I'm about. And Gary Kilson, he was there to get them all back. So if you look, this is when the very good boy cult started, and that's the number of inductees requiring medical treatment. See, it takes a little while to get going, then it rose rapidly here. These numbers here, you're getting up to 400 a month kind of thing. And then it peaked up here. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. This is when Gary Kilson, this is just when Gary Kilson was inducted into the cult. And then, as you can see, the number of inductees requiring medical attention after hazing ceremonies went right down and then flattened out here. So then it's right down to flattened under 100 a month. Yes, tears fears. Yeah, we could say that. Yeah. Gary Kilson, he flattened the curve. He flattened the curve. Yes, William Shakespeare. How did he flatten the curve? Well, you read about it more in the book, but I'll go into it. It's worth. He did it. How he flattened the curve by basically physically he flattened a lot of the very good boys, and that's interesting. That's interesting how he did that. I remember before, you know, he basically aggravated them so much that they'd strike out at him, and he'd always wear, you know, a camera, you know, like a body camera, so he could film them. So he always had that, you know, if they can plan to the authorities, you know, to the police and that he'd flattened them. He'd always have this thing of, you know, how they struck out at him first, sort of thing, that recorded there. So we're quickly running out of time, but we'll get into it now. The first method that he used to really aggravate the very good boys was it's called father stoning them. And where it comes from, and this, now we've come to it, this, you must also watch this for your homework before next lesson too, is go to that Father Ted series and find the episode called Introducing Father Stone. And Father Stone, in that episode, he was brilliantly played by Irish stand-up comedian and actor Michael Redman, and he brilliantly played it, you know. And when they'd all be sitting around in the house, you know, where you had Father Ted, you know, Father Dougal, Mrs. Doyle, Father Jack, other visiting priests, and he'd just sort of stand there or sit there, and, you know, they'd ask him questions, you know, like, you know, did you want to watch TV, Paul, you know, and he'd just go, no, I'm fine, you know, I'm fine, you know, did you want to do, you know, I'm okay, you know, he'd just be happy to just sit there in one spot all day and just stare. So that was Father Stone. So what Gary would do, you know, because, you know, the very good boys, you know, they're a bunch of braggarts and stuff like that, you know, so they'd always come up to Gary, go, you know, Gary, you know, you're coming to our Friday glute rubbing session, you know, yeah, coming along, you know, you're getting, yeah, you want to come with us, you know, down to you know, JB's no, not JB Hi-Fi. No, not JB Hi-Fi Tears Fizz. What I took, JB's menswear and draperies. You know, we're gonna get some really tight business shirts, and then we're gonna go to the gym. Gary, you want to come to the gym, and we're gonna bench press 300 kilograms. You know, and our arms will pop out. You know, and Gary he'd just be there. No, I'm fine. You know, and they say, oh, Gary, you know, Gary, you know, you know, you want to do, you know, we want to do this, you want to do that, and Gary said, oh, I'm okay, and, you know, he just stare into space, you know, and he said, no, thanks, no, I'm okay, you know, and that's just really aggravated, you know, the very good wizard. Then they'd strike out at Gary, and then he'd flatten them, you know, so that's how he flattened the curve. That's one of the techniques. The other one, which is probably just as brilliant, sometimes I think even more brilliant, but well, it is in the book. Of course, I can't tell you the book. Hugh Screwer, Way of the ADSOM, 30 Years of Signature Walking. Just keep it there beside this little curse dot. The other one, and it's called a Tupper Time Henry Hellraiser Technic, and it is in the book. I'll need a chair. And look, for this, a swivel chair is the best, but here at Suck they won't pay for swivel chairs. So if any of you get up to top screw, I do have very good swivel chairs there, and they're highly adjustable and that for comfort and so forth. So what he would do, you know, again, you know, the very good boys, you know, they'd sit there, you know, because they knew that, you know, that Gary Kisen being such a spun out cat, you know, he was legendary, you know, his stories about him and they're almost in folklore, and you know, so they'd sit down next to Gary, you know, and they'd say, oh, come on Gary, you're Gary Kisen, you know, tell us about, you know, what about, you know, all those times you were going out of Mexico drinking tequila, doing all that dirty stuff, you know, go on, what was that like, Gary? And, you know, and Gary, because he used to smoke a pipe, but I'm not telling anyone to take up smoking, but use a pipe for these purposes that goes with it. So he'd be you know, a swivel chair that he carried around with him, you know, and they'd go, you know, come on Gary, tell us about that, you know, like going out to Mexico drinking tequila, doing that dirty stuff, and then he'd go, Gary would just sit back and he'd go, suck on the pipe, and go, well, you know, like, you know, Gary, you know, what did Gary, do you regret those days? Were they sort of hedonistic, sort of hell-raising type things? Do you think it sort of affected you? Getting out of your mind and that. And Gary would go, no. Smell on the chair and that. And again, just totally aggravated the very good boys. But read it all in about my book, of course, which is Hugh Screwer, Way Over the ADSOM, 30 years of signature looking. I've talked enough today. We're out of time. Do your homework. The two Father, 10 episodes, introducing Father Stone and new Father Jack City, and read the first chapter of the book. Okay. Get out of here, you punks.